Hello and welcome to Evil Genius. Do you know what? I don't care. I don't care that this game has been out since the dinosaurs. I don't care that you've probably all played it before. I don't care. I love this game and I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it because I've just caught up on some news that Evil Genius 2 is coming out this year. I didn't even know Evil Genius 2 was in the works. But there we go. Apparently it was announced in 2019. Shows how much I know. So I'm super hyped. And I'm just like, yes, today is the day for some Evil Genius. It's goddamn Evil Genius, baby. We're going to go a new game because I haven't installed it on this computer ever before. I have no previous save games. Let's go. I'm just going to stick to medium. Now, this is an interesting one. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite genius? Because I quite like Maximilian. But Alexis is pretty awesome as well because her sphere of influence is unbelievable. I can't remember what the bonus that Max gets, and I can't remember the bonus that Shen Yu gets. So I'm going to be Alexis because she has this, like I said, sphere of influence. Absolutely amazing. Let's go. Those graphics, though, right? It doesn't matter about the graphics, and it doesn't matter at all. Although it might matter that the screen of OBS in this video is very squishy at the moment. Maybe that's a bit better. There we go. We're force scaling in OBS, and it kind of sorts its life out. There we go. Here we go. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Evil Genius. Oh my god, it's been so long. Oh, this brings back so many memories. I'm getting a nostalgia trip at the moment. The top down, the fact that we can't zoom out any more than this. We just have to scroll around like buffoons. Anyway, we have our objectives. Evil intentions. Ensure a healthy minion force. By building a barracks, you need at least one bunk bed and locker. Before you can send minions around the world to carry out acts of infamy, you need to construct a control room to help filter information. Make sure you have at least one control console and one memory bank. It seems you're under scrutiny even before you begin. Somewhere on the island are some pesky investigators tipped off of your Orion. Eliminate them. Oh, okay, wow. Now, normally, I generally play to not eliminate the agents. Hardly ever. Generally what I do is try and drive them absolutely mad and they will leave, and then because you don't kill them you don't get more kind of in trouble from the authorities, as it were. But anyway, it has been some time since I have played this game, so you right click on the dirt over here and you get all the sort of buildings that you can build. So obviously we can do corridors, the strong room, the barracks and stuff like that. Obviously this is the first island. You do go to a second island later on, but obviously this mountain here is what we have to play with, and it's easy to just build something in this little quarter, but then and then we run out of room later on, or we want to redesign. It's quite difficult to redesign later on, so you want to kind of plan what you're gonna do. I like to have a nice long-ish corridor, and then I zigzag it like this. Before I then actually start adding any buildings in. And this sort of layout here is pretty good at just setting up traps and stuff. So if we go ahead and build that, we can say, hey, build that, you buggers. Well, we got 3 minions at the moment. They'll go and take some gold out of our current little hovel. And they'll sort of blow up a little tunnel at the moment. Here's our main character. Here's who we are playing today. Nice. We are playing Alexis, and our henchman is this dude here who's pretty damn sweet. And the higher level he gets as well, and you level him up by sending on missions, which we'll cover later once we get control room, but he gets more abilities and stuff like that later on, so he's pretty good. You can command him. He's one of the very few that you can actually command, along with Alexis herself. You can tell to basically go places, but you can't really command the individual minions. They're run pretty much by the AI, and you just sort of give them jobs to do. Okay, so here is these investigators over here. So what I like to do is set these to psychological weakening. Now the problem I have at the moment is I don't necessarily have any tools. What the hell was that? I have no idea what that is. Oh yeah, that's the explosions going on inside the mountain. What's that loud rumbling noise? I don't really have any tools at the moment to weaken them, because you actually need valets in order to do that. And to get valets, you need a hotel, of all things. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to put our barracks. Now, barracks is, I like to make quite big, because ultimately you end up having a lot of minions at one point. Yes, it really is like Despicable Me. That's why I love this game so much. It's amazing. There's been a game like it ever since, ever. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, there's a barracks, and we're gonna, we can't go off that little bit of dark rock. There is just a nice little annoying bit of something or other we can't do anything off of. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna do that one. We're gonna pause it for now, and then we're gonna run a corridor down a bit more, and then across. That's going to intersect with our barracks. Oh, I just cancelled it because I'm a clumsy klutz. Klutzy. Let's do that again. There we go. Oh yes, and the shouty lady doesn't stop shouting either. She will always shout. So when we need to go, these investigators are stupid. They're wandering off in the wrong direction, which is great. I can kind of ignore them for the moment. And my guys are going to go off and get some more TNT. And we're going to blow these 2 rooms out. And then I'm going to build my strong room. Probably up in this top corner here. And then, I mean, the problem is, the further away your strong room is from this, the longer it takes for them to go and buy stuff. But at the same time, the closer your strong room is to the entrance of the base, the more vulnerable it is. So I could put a strong room here, and it would be quite accessible. The other thing you can do, and there's a ton, an absolute ton of tips and hints and all sorts online. This is not new content. This is not like next generation stuff. You could build a tiny little strong room here that just has a briefcase rack in it, and that's it. And that way, these minions can go off and take the briefcases to go and stuff, and then you build another strong room out of the way that has all of your ill-gotten gains, your piles of gold and stuff. Because you notice in our strong room at the moment we've got briefcase and obviously the gold, and our dearly beloved Alexis. Anyway, these guys are right down here, and they're basically going to carry on walking. Eventually, they'll come up this side, and then when they see my minions running backwards and forwards here, they'll start to try and follow them, make their way in here, and then they'll try. But they might make their way in here, and well, basically, they'll just take pictures of. I don't know what they do. If I don't kill them, I don't know what they would do. Whether they try and because they're not thieves. You get thieves later on, and they try and steal your money and whatnot. But these guys are investigators, so I don't know what they do. Whether they'll actually try and kill Alexis, I don't know. That's obviously not what we want to happen. We're not what we want to happen. Anyway, they're about to build the barracks. The charges are coming in now, and off it goes. Any second, there he goes. He's pushed the button. It's very neat and tidy, isn't it? It's very precise, considering. I don't know, I love it. It's brilliant. Okay, so that's great. Once you've got a room up like this barracks, I mean, we could have done with the corridor as well, but you can right-click into the barracks itself, and obviously that's when you can start buying some stuff. So we need some bunk beds and some lockers. So obviously what I like to do is put one gap space between them all, and then put a locker on the end. We don't need that many at the moment. So this is where I'm purchasing objects. This is where they'll go off. They'll pick up a briefcase. There he goes. And then he'll go to this place, and then, you know, he orders it on Amazon or something. I don't know. But we could do the same thing in the corridor here. Fire extinguishers are pretty useful because agents like to build fires. And doors, which need to be powered, I think, they'll just stay open if there's no power. So these obviously help slow down agents. So we might put a door at the front there. And one at our barracks, and certainly later on at the strong room. But yeah, that is pretty much the principle of the game. But, you know, obviously at the moment we've only got these 3 buildings that we can, or rooms that we can actually create in our evil underground layer. But as we progress, more and more become available. So I'm going to do a little strong room. We'll see if we can do that idea. So the briefcase is literally 2 blocks. Okay. The room corridor is too narrow. Okay, no problem. That's fine. And then we can put a briefcase in it before we've even built it.
This object will be purchased when
And then,
is available for duty.
And then a door. And that is close to the entrance.
Room construction unpaused.
And only enough room in there for briefcases. So we could build another strong room over here. And this needs to be reasonably big because we do actually get some rather large items later on in the game. So let's build it not that big. I do quite like also having a strong room in a strong room, but this does take up an unnecessary amount of room, and on this first island that's just unnecessary. So because we just don't have that much space. And we could do a corridor all the way. And in fact, we could do more ziggy zags and do that. I don't think it's going to be necessary, but here we go.
Room construction underway.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then we can put a door there.
All construction workers are busy at the present
Yes,
time.
I know. All construction workers are busy. So what you can do, once we've got a barracks up and running, we've actually got some bits in there, which we do now have. We will have a higher potential count of minions, and then we can actually hire some more minions. At the moment, we can't because we don't actually have the lockers yet. Once the lockers are in place,
Room construction unpaused.
then we can then hire some more minions, and these things will start picking up and getting quicker. Eventually, as you can see from this like tech tree style layout, we can actually then start upgrading our basic worker minions into specific types of minion that have certain roles, from security, science, and I think this is hospitality, of all things. So we can actually create diplomats and stuff like that and start manipulating governments and whatnot. It's great. It's absolutely brilliant. Right, we have a problem which is about to happen. So I think we need to kill these guys, because I just remembered that if you don't kill them, then you don't unlock a very important piece of equipment that you need for your base, which is freezer.
Intruder tagged for termination.
So these guys all need to die because we'll need somewhere to put their bodies, and a bit like a tutorial, it will unlock
New rooms are
freezer.
available for construction. New objects are available
Now
for
our dude is more than a match for those three. I don't know what task I've just completed. That'll be the barracks and the one locker, which is only enough to serve our current minions. So now
You may have noticed that all people have 5 statistics.
I know. There we go. He's dealt with the last dudes there. That's great. Just completed the kill off the dudes, so that's good. And now we need a freezer in order to put the bad guys. Well, they're not really. We're the bad guys. Let's be honest. This one. Let me see if I can do this slightly differently. Actually, let me see if I can do the freezer at the top here. But we don't need a huge freezer. In all honesty, we don't need a huge freezer. It just yeah. Have a freezer there. And then we'll reserve this space for something else, like a canteen or something would work quite well, I think. Let's put a corridor here for now, and get these two underway. And get that built, get everything built, please. Right, our minions are resting. How many can we have? I don't know what the... oh, we now got a capacity of 13, sorry, I was looking in the wrong place. So now we can have 13 minions. Let's get 13 minions. They should arrive very soon from a little boat that will pull up here and drop them off, or a helicopter that will land over here and drop them off. And we'll see them start shuttling into the base in no time whatsoever. We're going to move Alexis over to the barracks now, because while these minions are resting, she, with this huge circle of influence, will enable these minions to regenerate their loyalty stats and all that. So each minion, I don't know if I can go into the... Hello, dude. You can see has got 5 stats. Attention and smarts and loyalty and obviously health and stuff. This guy, for some reason, at 23 health, I'm not sure why. Endurance and so on and so forth. And I know you can also, you know, tag your individual minions if one's trying to run away, for example. You can tag to have him killed or even captured or whatever. So, you know, standard evil genius stuff, of course. So one thing I just forgot to do as well while I was increasing my minion numbers is I actually forgot to increase my recruitment. So this is, I don't know how often this 500 comes out, every so often or whatever, this $500 will be spent. So every 40 seconds we'll get a minion, or some, I'm not quite sure. I think if you rank it right up you get one every second, but you could probably do that very briefly up to the 13, and then every minion is $4,000 or whatever. Or if you're not worried about them coming in instantly, you can take it down to 500 and they'll come in every 40 seconds or so. So I just spent a whop of money to get a bunch of new minions, which is going to increase the speed of everything. So everything will start building a little bit quicker now, which is fine. Our Lady of Doom is there. Let's move us slightly closer to the entrance so they get a little bit when they walk past. And essentially this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to park her in the control room and set the control room on full sort of occupancy when we get there, and then we're going to start sending some minions around the world. But for now, we just got to finish off these last few rooms, and then we can get on with the control room. While that's happening, we can have a look at traps. So in any corridor we can see this little trap icon, we can click on that. Now we've only got access to a few basic traps at the moment, but still they're pretty effective. $10,000, and we can install 2 wind trap machines here. And they will basically just blow anything that comes down this corridor back out of this corridor. So what we can do here, what I quite like to do is just set up 2 pressure trap there, and 1 there, and then a door, because often when a spy or an agent comes in, this isn't very sophisticated, there are incredibly sophisticated things online that you can look up, but when a agent or minion comes in, they'll sit at the door until someone comes and opens them, so they'll stand on this pressure pad, and then this thing will make them go away, basically. Often some of the more experienced agents will dodge and stuff like that, and once they realize a trap is there, they will figure out their way around it. So you do need to defend in layers. So often more than one, more than several, I would say, rounds of traps, because they're not wholly reliable. And these pressure pads are probably the least effective of all the triggers. But you know, you can see, you just click on them and you get this little linking interface where you can link a trap, a trigger to a trap. It's very, very simple, and can obviously lead to some pretty intricate stuff if you want it to. Anyway, our new, because we got obviously 13 minions, things are happening much quicker now. Our freezer is ready. We can get a couple of racks, which is going to help us organize the bodies a little bit better. There we go. And our strong room. And now our strong room over here, this room needs to be demolished. So we just click yes on that. The gold will then filter over to here. The briefcases are already over here anyway, but this room being here is just asking for trouble. A minion cannot reach a strong room to deposit your funds, or they are full. Allow access to... Oh, I don't really... Funds frozen. I'm not sure what it's complaining about. I mean, there's a strong room, there's a strong room, there's a strong room. Anyway, there we go. Power plant has been unlocked. Excellent. Good. Fantastic. Power plant is definitely something that you need. Obviously, things like these guys here run on power. So, yeah. Power plant is an enormous room. What is with this? There's a huge strong room here. There's a huge strong room. Yeah, I don't understand what you're complaining about, minion. I assume he's complaining about this one because it's only 1 block. Because all of our gold has disappeared. Because I just demolished it. And instead of actually funneling the gold to the strong room that's available, it's just, oh dear lord, are you kidding me? Well, thank goodness for autosaves. So, before you destroy your little starter strong room, you should build the main strong room before you build the crappy little one that's just for briefcases, because otherwise it deletes your money. I knew that, but I'd forgotten. So anyway, there we go. We're back to where we were. We now have the crafty little briefcase strong room that's close to the front door. Everything is where we left it. Anyway, right, so next up we need a power plant. And the power plant, like I said, is a monster of a room. You're going to constantly need to add more and more power. So I'm thinking of just adding it down here, right from the offset, really, just to mark it out. I don't know whether making it this big is really a good idea or what, or whether making lots of little ones is a better idea. Anyway, the power things are 3x3, so you want a good 4 space gaps so you can get engineers and get around them and repair them, and then I'll just do another 3 like that, and that's 2 rows, and then of course 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 6 power plants. 1, 2, 3. That's 8. So let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There's 10 power plants, and that lines up quite nicely with the corridor space there. To do that, let's get a corridor. That's a freezer. Corridor's up there. Okay, we have this weird thing, but we can do stuff with like 1 space cells like that. It's not a problem. And then that's going to leave us some awkward size space there, but that's not bad because we can add just rooms like cafeterias and stuff that are just part of the corridor in there. It's not the end of the world. And then we can put the control room like opposite here or something like that. Okay, there we go. Let's get the minions on the way, and while they're at it we can obviously build a generator or 2. That's 20 grand. So there we go. They'll get on away with that. Over here we want our control room. Now the control room doesn't need to be an enormous structure, but you know, it needs to be a decent-ish size. The main thing with the control room is there's a big screen that you can have. I don't know if I've actually got it yet. So big screen. No, we don't have the big screen yet, but that's fine. So let's order some doors. There we go. Apparently that's an illegal room. Not quite sure about why that is an illegal room. You can get upgrades for your control center later, but essentially we're going to have like 6 control stations here and some memory banks dotted around as well, which is fine. It's perfect. We only need 1 to fulfill the mission requirements, but we can put 3 in there with 2 memory banks at the back of the room, because this is the 60s, remember, so you know, memory banks. Okay, so and we can unpause that as well. Now our minions are going to be sitting in the barracks, not doing anything. Oh, they're waiting for the corridor to be detonated. He's about to push the button. What? There you go. Nice. Kablamo. A long old corridor, but there we go. And this space as well we can use for sort of just general nefarious rooms. See, inevitably an investigator or an agent of some kind will get into your base. They will make it through all the different traps and stuff like that. This is why I like to put them into disorientate as much as possible and just have valets in a hotel just screwing with their mind, because when you screw with their mind, they will just sit here not doing anything, and then they'll bugger off when their time is up. That's the best way I found to deal with agents. Even the super agents. There's no point trying to capture or kill a super agent. Just disorientate them. You know, and you can do that with a variety of methods, but honestly, valets, diplomats and stuff like that are absolutely essential. Yeah, there we go. We've got a little base. Now we just got to wait for the power plant and the control room to get ready, and then we can start some world domination. Yes, run, my minions, run! Buy stuff, bring it to me! So now we've got our control room, and we've got a bit of power. There's another power thing arriving shortly. I hope that's him, or that's him. And because we're at 35, we're using 34. Yeah, you know, somebody turns on the microwave, we're buggered. Anyway, so this actually unlocks having the control room here, as you can see, buzzing away doing control roomy things, unlocks the world domination map. And this is where we can go across the world and do various things, like stolen secret documents reveal that Anvil is implementing a new round-the-clock offshore patrol system using disguised junks. Junks filled with latest... Anyway. We can stretch this fledgling operation beyond breaking point by feeding the local dolphin population fish, wrapped radio and sonar bacon. It's good. It's good. It's good. So, what it also prompts us to do is to capture this maid who is holidaying on the island. And now she's a trained civilian, and she's actually going to unlock the first, the first specialized dude, the valet, I believe, that we can have, the first specialized minion that we can have. So that's pretty good, pretty good. I think the armory is quite important to have near the sort of front of the base, so I'm going to kind of haphazardly build one into this space here. It's going to be an odd shape, I will grant you. Yep, that's going to have to do, I think. Yep. So the armory is where we can put a holding cell. So we've got a holding cell here. So we can put one in this little corner here, or maybe like that, perhaps. And then obviously once we build that, it's going to unlock the interrogation chair, and then we can interrogate the maid on how to do maid things. So yeah. And that's going to turn one of our normal minions into this. I think it's the valet. I could be wrong. It might be something else. I think it's valet, and then I can't remember. But yeah, ambassador and something else at the playboy at the end, I think. But yeah, so we just need to build this first, and in the meantime, we can go out and steal some money, because you'll notice that some of these icons have money symbols. For instance, from the Middle East there around Saudi Arabia is $9, but everything else, I mean, Central America is 9 as well, but there's a lot of places that just have question marks on them because the control room hasn't been running long enough, and it also doesn't have enough people in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to send 3 guys to steal from the Middle East there, and they're going to get in a helicopter and go over there, and then just going to sit there. But when you start doing stuff in the world map, you need to keep an eye on this little icon here, because every now and again it will flash when something on the world map updates, and it won't tell you that there is an agency or law enforcement acting in the region that your minions are. You'll just kill them, and then when you go to the map, then they all just sort of fall over. Little icons on the map just fall over, dead, and there you go. You've lost however many minions you've lost. So that's something to keep an eye on. We can have 15 minions now. Excellent. We can have a few more of those, and we're going to have to keep on buying more bunk beds and stuff until we unlock the new. Oh, well, do you know what? I've just remembered. You don't need that many bunk beds. You need lockers. Unlock the minion count, not bunk beds. So actually, this many bunk beds is probably going to serve us for a very long time, because they will just sleep on whichever bed is available at the time they need to go and sleep. The lockers is what enables us to have a lot more minions. So I can fill the rest of this room up with just lockers, I think, and we can have lots and lots of minions. But ultimately, at the moment, we are running a bit low on the cash. Our pile of gold is looking a little bit sad. Helicopters here. These guys need to start stealing money, and the thing is, the workers are not very good at stealing money. Some of the more advanced minions are very good at stealing money, especially, again, the valets and stuff. I guess these guys at the bottom are just so important, but I mean, they've all got their function. You know, security and stuff, you need that muscle for some of the missions later. The other thing that was unlocked when we built our control room was outside we can now have hotels and extra shacks and stuff like that, so that we can start attracting tourists. But generally the main purpose of these things is to distract agents. So they're somewhere where your valets and stuff will work, and then the agents will generally go there because obviously it looks like a front. And then you set them onto the agents onto disorientate, and away your valets go, and they disorientate them and mess them up, and that's great. For now, In our little control room is our evil genius, is making sure that these guys pay attention and carry on. This little clock machine, you can add these into most rooms that have a function, time clock. What you can do with these things is configure them to say how many minions there must be in the room at all times. I don't like to stick it on full because then there's very little flexibility, but at least half. I like to set it on half, so at least the room is functioning, at least to some level. So here we go. My minions have arrived on the map, and they're now currently stealing $1,200 every 60 seconds. It looks like down here our cash has gone down so low, but it looks like they've just actually managed to get some. Obviously, the more minions that we put there, then the more money we get, but then obviously the more heat we get, the more likely we're going to get an agent or something snooping around and possibly taking out and killing our minions. So we need to keep an eye on that. This little icon will flash if an agent does come into the area, but generally it's good practice to just keep an eye on it every now and then. Right, here's our room. Now we should have our holding cell is there. We need to find this maid. Now she'll be a little pink dot on this little map here. She's all the way down here. Let's say capture tag. Now she'll wander around and eventually she'll end up where one of my minions can go and get her. I don't need to send anyone after her per se. Eventually they will go and get her. Anyway, our holding cell is ready. Once we've captured her, we'll get an interrogation chair, like I say, and then we can go from there. In the meantime, we can do some missions and stuff, but these things don't really give us money. They just give us notoriety, and notoriety is, well, it's good for it's good for really pissing off the authorities. I don't really want to know what notoriety otherwise does, to be honest. I think it unlocks some stuff later on. I can't quite remember, but there we go. We're earning a bit of cash from these guys, and obviously the more minions we can get, then the more cash we can get from these regions. But if you pee off a region enough, that's 2, and there's our 2,000 gone. If you pee off a region, so you notice how they're color coded. You got the yellows, the blues, the greens, and reds, and blah blah blah. Each region is a certain type of organization. Smash is the Middle East, and Hammer is Russia, Anvil is China, Saber is Europe and the Commonwealth basically, and Patriot is America. So, and each organization has their own super agent. And I think the only one that you cannot kill in the game is Saber's, which is of course right, because that's obviously based on MI6, the finest counterintelligence agency in the world. Of course. So our maid will come up a little bit later and she'll get captured, and then we'll unlock the next phase. But until then, we're just going to leave our dudes to steal away and hopefully earn us a little bit more money before, well, we just need to keep an eye on it, and I hope that they don't get killed by Mr. Saber. Sorry, Mr. Smash. Of course, if the maid is taking too long to get up where your minions can see them, you can just send your henchman to go and deal with it. And he'll knock her out and walk off. Brilliant. Thanks, henchman. Could you maybe carry her? No, you're far too lazy to do that, aren't you? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait for one of the minions to go and get her. I assume this is this guy running off here. She'll sit there unconscious until she's in the holding cell, then, I guess. Okay, thanks, henchman. I thought he carried... Never mind. It doesn't matter. Just like that. There we go. Well done, Mr. Minion, for picking up where Mr. Henchman couldn't be bothered. We have our maid in custody, and that means we now... Alright, Jesus, you have to kick her.
New objects are available for purchase. Check objective screen for new goals.
This guy's an asshole.
Some characters, like the maid you have just captured, are called hostages.
Thanks. So now, we can build the interrogation chair, and obviously we can't build it there because that blocks the thing, so we can build it right next to the old cell there,
Object has been ordered.
a bit like that, and then we can interrogate her, and that will unlock our first special minion. Civilian made yield useful information to your men. Interrogate her. Train up an advanced minion. There we go. Let's just check on our dudes. They're all fine. I've sent a few more out now. We're now getting 3,600, which is great. I can order a few more lockers,
Object purchase order confirmed.
which is going to give us a few more minions. Excellent. And then, of course, you set your minion about interrogating the poor maid in the interrogation chair. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty. But then, you know, we are an evil organization, so we must be evil. So what's going on right now? Ah, there we go. Killed her. Hey, we have our first valet.
Depot now stocks new objects.
Boom!
New rooms are available for construction.
Bingo. And that unlocks a mess of stuff. A huge mess of stuff. And obviously we need to make sure our new
As well as being
valet,
a cash candy jar for you to dip your hands in.
our new valet does not get killed, because otherwise we'll have to do that all over again. And don't worry, you can go out and capture another maid if you do lose your only valet. But here we go. That is the section 1, part 1, evil intentions complete. We are now on to head of the underworld. Look at all this stuff that we've got now. We can unlock security desks and weapon cabinets and CCTVs, and we've got mess halls, staff room, training room, inner sanctum, obviously, of course, we need our inner sanctum. So yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us now, and we just need those minions out in the world to keep bringing in that money, hopefully not get caught. Not get caught, gentlemen. Anyway, that is going to be all for today. That is Evil Genius in a nutshell, and we're just going to progress through this. Let me know if you want me to continue a little Let's Play for this, or if you're happy with just a little one-off nostalgia trip of Evil Genius. I just wanted to play and share with you guys how much I adore this old classic game. I love it. I hope you guys do as well. Let me know any war stories you might have in playing this game in the past. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.